Breaking news, internet family, grab your popcorn, grab your tea, and maybe grab a prayer cloth because Arionne. Curry is back on the internet doing what she does best, self-destructing in real time. Yes, you heard me right. The woman who once declared herself the real one in a very public marital mess has apparently logged on again to talk, cry, shade, and somehow play victim all at the same time. But here's the gog why now. Why when Melody Cherie out here glowing, building empires, and walking red carpets? Is Arionne suddenly emotional, live, and claiming everyone's out to get her? Is this remorse or just another episode of when going live goes wrong? Because, baby, the streets are saying this meltdown wasn't accidental, it was strategic. Some say she's prepping for a new tell-all. Others swear she's fishing for sympathy before new receipts drop. But if that's the case, who's really behind the scenes pulling the strings? Did Martell whisper something in her ear again? Or is this another desperate PR stunt gone sideways? Whatever it is, one thing's for sure, this story is messier than Martell's group chat at midnight. Stay tuned because we're about to break this whole thing down piece by piece. The internet went wild once again as Arionne Curry appeared on live. Her voice shaky, but her confidence pretending to hold firm while the world watched in disbelief. After months of silence, she returned to the digital spotlight, claiming she had something important to say. But within minutes, it became clear this was not a statement of strength, but another meltdown disguised as a confession. The background of her live looked dimly lit, her expression shifting between frustration and self-pity as she scrolled through comments that were less supportive and more like an online roast session. "Y'all don't know the real story," she said, pacing back and forth, her voice cracking at certain points as if fighting back tears. But the internet had heard that before. Every time Arionne promised to tell her truth, it usually ended in contradictions. Half apologies and more drama than revelation. This time was no different. She claimed she was tired of being painted as the villain and wanted to set the record straight. But the more she spoke, the deeper she buried herself in inconsistencies. At one point, she claimed that Melody had been taunting her through subliminals, but couldn't point to a single example when pressed by commenters. Then she brought up Martell, saying he still calls her, still checks on her, still cares, as if that justified years of mess. The comment section exploded with laughing emojis, popcorn reactions, and people saying she needed to log off immediately. But she didn't. She kept talking, her emotions spiraling, her words tripping over one another as she switched from anger to tears in seconds. She said she was done being quiet, yet it was obvious that being quiet was never her problem. She accused bloggers of lying, fans of bullying, and even hinted that certain networks were blackballing her, though no one could confirm such claims. By the 10-minute mark, the live had turned into an internet spectacle. Thousands tuned in, some mocking, others pitying, but everyone watching like it was reality TV all over again. Arionne's energy was raw, chaotic, and almost theatrical, as if she knew the attention was fleeting, but needed it anyway. Then, just when she seemed ready to log off and collect herself, she leaned in toward the camera, eyes red, and whispered something that made everyone freeze. She looked straight into the lens and said in a low voice that she was tired of protecting people who had ruined her life. And from that moment, the atmosphere shifted from pity to pure curiosity. Because the internet loves nothing more than a mystery wrapped in drama. Comments poured in, asking who she was referring to, and without naming names, she started dropping hints that had everyone connecting dots faster than detectives on a true crime podcast. She spoke of secret phone calls, betrayal, and being used as a pawn in someone else's game, claiming that her silence had been out of loyalty, but that loyalty had never been returned. She wiped her tears, looked at the camera again, and muttered that she had receipts that could destroy reputations, which instantly made her live explode with viewers demanding screenshots. Of course, none appeared. Instead, she rambled about screenshots that had been deleted, texts that mysteriously vanished, and people who had power in the industry trying to silence her. Some viewers said she seemed on the verge of revealing something huge, while others believed it was another emotional performance meant to stay relevant. But then she said something that shifted the conversation completely, claiming that Martell had made promises as recently as last month, that he told her he missed the family they could have been, and that he regretted how things turned out. That statement set the internet ablaze because just a week ago Martell was publicly talking about focusing on co-parenting and peace, not rekindling old flames. Screenshots of her quotes began circulating within minutes. Gossip pages reposted clips of her crying, and fans started tagging Melody, asking if she had seen the live. It became a full social media circus with everyone dissecting every word and gesture. Some thought Arionne was hinting that she and Martell were still in secret communication, while others believed she was exaggerating out of bitterness and loneliness. Either way, her words reopened old wounds and reignited fan wars that had barely cooled off. As her live continued, she became defensive, lashing out at commenters, accusing them of believing lies, and insisting that she was finally telling her side. But before she could finish, something unexpected happened that silenced even her most vocal critics. Right in the middle of her emotional outburst, her phone started ringing on the live. And for a split second, the name flashing across the screen appeared to be none other than Martell, which sent the comment section into absolute chaos as people began screaming in all caps for her to answer. She froze, looked at the screen, then back at the camera, and her face shifted from rage to panic. It was the kind of silence that said everything without words. She ended the call and stammered that she didn't mean to show that, but the damage was already done. Viewers started recording, screenshots spread across every blog page within minutes, and speculation hit a fever pitch. Was Martell really calling her during her breakdown? Or was it someone using his name just to get attention? No one could confirm, but the visual alone was enough to send social media into overdrive. Within an hour, Twitter threads popped up analyzing every frame, fans theorizing about secret messages and cover-ups, and even fake insiders claiming that this was part of a bigger story about hush agreements and silence drama behind the scenes. Some said Arionne had been warned not to speak publicly again, that there were clauses preventing her from mentioning certain people by name, and that this entire live might cost her legally. Meanwhile, the live abruptly cut off, leaving thousands hanging mid-sentence. And that unfinished ending only added to the suspense. By morning, bloggers were releasing exclusive sources claiming the call was real and that a major network had contacted both Arionne and Martell for statements. Others said she'd been crying uncontrollably afterward, while her close friends supposedly told gossip pages she was done with everything. The story took on a life of its own, with conspiracy theories spreading that this breakdown was either a setup for a documentary or a final attempt at attention before serious legal moves were made. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear. Arionne had once again turned a quiet week into the loudest storm on the internet. And now, with rumors of leaked texts, deleted lives, and possible restraining orders, everyone was left asking the same question that kept the whole situation alive: what really happened after that call ended? So, now the question everyone is asking is simple but explosive. Was this a genuine breakdown or another well-timed act meant to keep Arionne in the spotlight? Did Martell really call? Or was it all part of a planned stunt to stir up drama just when things were starting to calm down? The truth might still be hiding behind deleted lives, late-night texts, and phone calls that were never supposed to be seen. But one thing is certain: this story isn't over, and the next chapter could change everything. So before you scroll away, drop your thoughts in the comments because I need to know what you think. Was Arionne exposing real secrets? Or was she just performing for attention again? Hit that like button if you believe more receipts are coming. Share this video with your group chat so everyone can catch up on the mess. And don't forget to subscribe because this rabbit hole only gets deeper from here. We've got more hidden clips, anonymous sources, and maybe even a few leaked audios coming your way. So stay tuned, because if this meltdown was just part one, trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.